Hello, my name is Meiju. Welcome to watch my knitting podcast. If you are new to my channel, I live in Helsinki. I design knitwear and I'm called Meiju, as you heard. I have been making knitting podcasts over 1 year now. I think I started in February 2020, if I remember it right. And I have been making regular knitting podcasts since then. I have been knitting my whole life, designing knitwear over 10 years now, and I'm currently waiting my first knitting book to be published. It will be published by Line magazine, and I delivered every pattern to Line magazine office last week, and I'm basically just waiting that I will get my book for a review, and then it will be published. I know today that we are photo shooting on October, so there will be several months until the book will be published, but for me the hard work have been done. In these videos I'm usually talking about my current knitting projects, but because of the bookmaking process and everything has to be secret, I haven't been able to talk about much about my projects. But today I have something to show you. I have one design that I'm going to publish tomorrow, because today is 9th of September and tomorrow is 10th of September, and I'm going to publish one design tomorrow. I'm going to talk about that today. So probably if you're watching this video tomorrow, which is 10th, you will I will publish this video on 10th, I believe so, because it will take hours for me to download it on YouTube and everything, and edit and everything. In the beginning you saw some footage of our family trip in the forest. We were trying to find some mushrooms, which I like to eat, and prepare food from them. There were also my father-in-law on that hiking trip, and my husband's parents, they like to also collect mushrooms, so that's why we were hiking with them. My kids weren't that happy about hiking in the forest, because in autumns we have a lot of those little flies that don't actually fly. They are called, I don't know what they are called in English, but they will go in one's hair, and they are really annoying to be with. So I think I took at least 4 flies out of my son's hair, and at least 2 flies out of my hair, even if we had hats and everything on our head. But anyway, today, in addition that I'm talking about my current knitting projects, I could tell you what I'm wearing today. This is my October Spirit cardigan, which is something that I published probably in the fall 2019. So this is a little cardigan that has been in my closet. I have been wearing this quite many times actually, but I haven't really worn this on my videos, so here it is. It has little puffed sleeves, and I shaped the sleeves in 3 different sections for this cardigan. So here is the puff shaping, then to turn off the sleeve to downwards, and then there are some decreases in the end. So it has short sleeves or elbow length sleeves, and I really love how the sleeves turned out to be. They are just perfect. I want probably make a new sweater from this sleeve idea, but I'm thinking about making little larger sleeves or maybe longer, but we'll get there for some point. And then I decreased also, this is cropped length, so I decreased also here when I made this hem ribbing, so there will be a little puff on the body too if you are looking it more closely. So that's my October spirit cardigan. And then about the Elo Hat, which is a really simple ribbed hat with 1x1 ribbing, knit 1, purl 1 ribbing, and I haven't really published that simple hat pattern before. I have one simple hat pattern on my YouTube channel called Artist Hat, which is mainly stockinette stitch. But this hat is ribbing, and I don't have the hat with me because my friend who knit the sample, I wanted that she would keep the sample, and I just modeled the sample. It's really simple ribbed hat with a double folded brim, or you don't have to fold the brim if you don't want to, then it will be just slouchy long hat. There will be some crown shaping at the top of the head, and I did kind of crossed shape shaping there. So and I designed shaping that would be easy to do for beginners, but still would look like nice and kind of how would I call it, even or symmetric in a sense. There are a lot of sizes in that hat, if I recall it right, maybe 5 or 6. You can see the sizing on my Ravelry store when I publish on 10th of September. So you could go there to see how many sizes I have in that hat. That's my Elo Hat. You will find it on my Ravelry store, Payhip store, payhip.com/meijuknits, and also on lovecrafts.com. Then I could show you something that I have just finished. I already published this happy headband, and you can find this pattern on my Ravelry store and Payhip store and Lovecrafts. So this is a nice little headband with a knot. And I used all scrap yarns that I had in 4 colors for this. So it's perfect scrap yarn project. You can use all little leftovers. I think I used some 20 grams of each color. All the info is in the pattern, so you can find it there. But then again, my friend asked that you should make happy mittens to accompany this headband, and I did. So here they are. These are a little wet at the moment because they are blocking. I finished them at the weekend, and now decided to block them. They are being test knitted at the moment. So the mittens are ready, but they are a little wet. I just wanted to show you them. They are happy mittens, and I'm hoping to publish them within September. They are being test knitted at the moment. And if you are interested about test knitting for me, you have to find my Ravelry group. It's Meiju Knits, and sign up there or say hello. There is this thread for welcomes and introductions, so you could say hey there and ask for me to add you in my test knitting group. Then I have finished these socks. I don't know if I have already shown you these, but I haven't put these yet in the test knitting because that's mainly because I have to translate the pattern in Finnish, because nowadays I also like to do all the test knitting in Finnish. It kind of helps me not to leave English in those Finnish translations, because I always write in English first. These are the Finnish objects. Then I also have this yoke sweater that I already showed you, I believe, 2 videos before. It has bubbles and lace in the yoke, and it's been blocked at the moment, wet blocked, so it's wet and I didn't want to bring it here. So, and it's also been test knitted already. Then I could show you this. This is something I have wanted to make a Christmas sweater for years now, and usually the Christmas sweaters are kind of goofy or humorous in a way that I wouldn't feel comfortable wearing a Christmas sweater like that, probably. So I have wanted to make my own Christmas sweater, and I have been also thinking of making a colorwork Christmas sweater, but I haven't made it yet or started it. I probably do it next year. But this is will be my Christmas sweater. It's texture yoke sweater. There will be only knits and purls, and there will be pockets. As you can see, I divided the pockets yesterday evening, and then there will be sleeves. This will be a cropped length because I don't have that much yarn. I only have 4 skeins of this Finnish wool that I have here. I showed you the casting on in the last video, so you saw it there. I'm going to knit this a bit further while speaking for you, but before that I will show you also the buttons. I'm attaching the buttons while I knit, so I will kind of knit them. If you are interested in this technique, I have a tutorial on my channel, so I could link it here above, so you can find it from there, and below this video if you don't want to stop watching this video. So I like to knit the buttons while I go because I don't have to sew them later. It's mainly because of that, and I keep my garments that carefully, so I don't worry about the button ripping off. I don't really worry about that. It's not a problem for me. At least any of those buttons that I have knit on haven't really ripped off ever. And also I could show you these. These are oh, the knot opened. There was a knot. These are a knitting barber, I don't know, stitch holders maybe. So these are plastic, and they are really easy to use. If I want to put these stitches on holder, I just put this well, let's start from the beginning. Since I have every stitches for the yoke on one needle, and then I want to separate sleeves, I just put this cable at the end of my needle, and then I just pull the needle away, so the cable comes and takes those stitches that I have for the sleeve. So it's wonderful to use actually. And I purchased these from my knitting circle did a trip to Saarijärvi in the middle of Finland, and we went past to Lanka-kauppa Titityö and decided to stop by there. So we stopped there and purchased some yarn. I will show my yarn purchase later, and I also purchased these. These are just wonderful little equipment, and the knitting barber who makes these and sells these lives in Vaasa, Finland. That is also something that I learned on that trip, and I think that these knitting barber cables are available now from US, at least at some yarn stores, and in Britain and in many countries in Europe. So I'm hoping that you will find those in your local yarn store. And this is unpaid commercial. I just love these and purchased them myself. So really handy equipment. A few words about that trip that I did my knitting friends. We went to Saarijärvi. We spent a weekend on that cabin, on one rented cabin. And when we arrived there, there was no electricity and no water, running water. There had been this storm which had cut all the electricity, and because of that also the running water. But luckily the electricity and running water came back in a few hours, and we were able to cook and make food. We were hiking in this lovely national park called Pyhähäkki. Pyhähäkki National Park. We have over 40 national parks in Finland with lovely scenes. This national park had a speciality of really old trees, and then there were beautiful swamp areas, and we found those berries that we picked from the swamp areas called karbalo. What is karbalo in English? There should be a word for that. I don't know. I have to look it for, and I will put the text below this video. Anyway, it was a lovely trip, and put some footage of our weekend in the end of this video. And we'll see you next time. Bye, happy knitting!